So how many of you have a dream car? Okay, a few of you. As did I. When I was 15, my dream car was a Ford F-150. And so when I turned 16, my grandpa bought me a blue Ford F-150, and I was so excited. So throughout my speech today, I will be describing to you 3 different events that happened while I had my Ford F-150, and afterwards you should be able to summarize these 3 events. So the first event that happened was that I actually smashed my thumb in the truck door. So it was right before a volleyball game last year, and I was getting out of my truck. I was talking to one of my friends, and my truck was an older model. It was a 1997, so when you shut the door with the key still inside, it would lock. And I did this a number of times, and so by this time I learned that I couldn't do that. And so I was talking to my friend, and I slammed the door shut, and at the last minute I remembered that I had left my keys in the truck. So naturally I tried to stop the door with just my thumb, and smashed it right in the door and had to like rip it out. And I fell to the ground, because that was probably one of the most painful things I've ever experienced. It hurt so bad. My friends just laughed, and I ended up having to have my thumb in a bag of ice for like hours, and I didn't get to play my volleyball game. My thumb was all bruised. It was like black and purple for a very long time, but luckily my fingernail didn't actually come off. And in most situations where you smash your finger, your fingernail will come off. That didn't happen to me. So the second thing that I did with my truck is that I actually ran through a garage. So I was at my friend Michaela's house, and I was leaving because I had to go home and get ready for work. So I was parked on the street in front of her house, and my plan was to pull into the driveway and then back out so I could go home. And so I went into the driveway, and I was turned around so I could see behind me, and I thought that I was in reverse, but I definitely wasn't. And so I pressed the gas and realized that I wasn't going backwards, so I panicked and pressed the gas even harder and went straight into her garage. And not only did I smash up half her garage door, but I also smashed both of her trash cans with it. But luckily, my truck was fine because I had this big black guard on the front of it. So her garage didn't look too good, but my truck was fine, so it was okay. I ended up having to pay for that, and that was a good chunk of money. And at that point, I was like, maybe I shouldn't be driving a truck anymore. And then the third event that happened while I had my truck was that I backed into a 2013 Corvette in the Domino's parking lot. So it was nighttime, and I had just gotten off work, and I got into my truck, and I was backing up, and it was a black Corvette, and it was dark, and the parking lot isn't very well lit, so I didn't see it at all. And I remember just like feeling me hit something, and I was like, oh crap, like what the hell? And I just sat there for a while because I had no idea what to do, because like part of me really just wanted to leave so I didn't have to go through this again, but that would be really mean. So I ended up just pulling back into my spot, and I sat there for a lot longer than I think I did, because my boss ended up calling me and saying that a guy saw that I had ran into a truck, or a Corvette, and I was like, okay. So it was just like a scratch about this big, but it was an expensive car, which means it was expensive to fix the scratch. So at that point, after I had to pay for that as well, I was like, I shouldn't be driving a truck. Who let me drive a truck? So now actually, I drive a little red Pontiac Grand Prix, and I've been driving it for like 6 months, and as of now, I haven't gotten in any accidents. So in conclusion, I had a Ford F-150, and I smashed my thumb in the door. I ran through my friend's garage and I backed into a 2013 Corvette. Thank you.